Hello and welcome to a new episode. Today I have a special episode for the content creators out there. I will take you step by step in how I built that automation. And hey, I will share with you the template for this automation, so building it will take you minutes. But once you do that, you're gonna have the power in the palm of your hand, and for any moment you decide to push any type of content out there is to just record the video on your mobile, edit it a little bit on CapCut if you want to do that, and then everything, and when I say everything, I mean everything, will happen for you. The only thing you need to do after that is just go and watch your video on any social media that you decide to integrate into it. And with this, do not forget to hit that like button, subscribe, and let's get started.
Subscribe to Daddy's channel, The Mic.
This automation will be a game changer for you. The only thing you need to do is just copy this automation. Now, before I go to the automation, I want to show you how it works in practice. So this is my YouTube channel. I hope you check it out. You can go and check other sections here, but these 5 shorts here are all shorts that I've done through this automation. Starting with this one, when basically I told my audience, this is what I've done on my leave, and this is how it works. Today is going to be detailed. And if we go to something like TikTok, you can see that those 5 videos are still there, and the same goes to Instagram. You can see those 5 videos at different stages because I have some posts, but they're all in here. Now, I've done it in a way that is simple and suits me. If you want to make it a little bit more complex, more comprehensive for your use case, for example, you would want to focus on the description and titles across specific platforms, like you want to have something specially designed for TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, you can do that, and I'll give you the tips on how to do it step by step. So let's go to the automation and start breaking it down step by step. Okay, so this is my automation, and it all starts with the trigger of when you have the final product. It's a video that you created on your mobile and you just throw into a folder on your Google Drive. So the trigger is a Google Drive trigger when you add or create a new file. So if we look at this trigger, it's pretty much standard. So we have the app Google Drive, and then we have the trigger event, which is a new file in folder, and then you connect it to your account, obviously, and you select that folder where you want to drop that file, and that's it. And once you have that, each time you drop a new file, it will trigger this automation. And after that, I added a formatter step. And later on, you'll understand why I'm doing this. But basically, I want to take the extension of the file that I'm using, and I want to make it lowercase. So it's a very simple use case in Zapier format application. And the way I configured it is it's a transform type of formatting, and it's a lowercase, and I just give it the file extension as I get it from the trigger step in Google Drive. So regardless what is in here, it will end up as an output as a lowercase extension. Now, for these coming steps, you probably can get away without, depending on your device. But if you're using an iPhone or an Apple product in general, you will get a .mov video file once you shoot one. And .mov creates an issue sometimes. It doesn't work with all platforms, and it is heavy on size. So the thing I've done for myself is use a service like CloudConvert to convert it to a new format, and use that tool, CloudConvert, to do other things that will make the rest of this automation really smooth. Now, before we move to the steps of CloudConvert and I show you how those work, I want to show you the service itself. So if we go to their website, this is my dashboard on CloudConvert. I have bought 1,000 credits, and believe me, those 1,000 credits probably, if I use them for this automation and 10 others, would last me probably a year at least. And I bought those 1,000 credits for $17. Really worth it. If you think about it, if you're heavy on publishing short videos on monthly basis, it's gonna be a cost probably not more than $1 a month if you're doing like and pushing crazy number of videos every month. So it is not free, but close enough to be free. So buy your credits, and the amazing thing again is that you do not have to bother for the most part with the API integration of this platform and Zapier, because it's already integrated into Zapier. One endpoint I had to use, and I'll show you later on, for my automation, which is very simple, straightforward. So let's go back to our automation. Okay, so pretty much with CloudConvert, I just want to do two things. One of them is I want to convert my MOV file to something else. I'll show you in a second. And the other one is to convert my MOV video file into an only audio file. So it will be much smaller in size, so I can use it later to transcribe my video. Okay, so let's start with the first step, which is converting MOV to some other video format. And here you select your app, CloudConvert. The action is convert a file, and then you link your account. You go to the configuration, you select the file itself. You can see here it exists, but it's not shown. This file input here comes from the same trigger for Google Drive that we created when we started this automation. The output format is MP4. So I've done my own research. You can do yours. So what I realized based on that research is MP4 is the best when it comes to a balance between quality and size. Also, it's a format that's widely spread between platforms. So the odds are, if you use it to whatever platform you choose to spread your video or post your video, you will have no issues whatsoever. But regardless, I'll just show you that there's so many options that CloudConvert offers you to convert your video from whatever format to whatever format you wish. I think there's nothing probably that you would want to consider to switch your video into that is not already here into this integration. So for me, based on my research, I went with the MP4. Now the next step is the input format. So we need to tell this call or this step in Zapier, at least this is how CloudConvert is set up, what is the input format. And it doesn't work if the format is in caps, right? So this is why I made it as lowercase. So regardless of what app I'm using to edit, I don't want any scenario to happen where, I push the video, I miss this small thing, and then it breaks down and doesn't go through. So just in case, regardless of what extension of that file comes in, I'll just make sure it's lowercase. So this is smooth sailing from that point on. After this, if you want, you can give it a file name, and then you have this wait selection here. Now, if you select yes, basically you're telling this action or this step, I need you to wait until I am done with the conversion, and then you can continue. What happens in these cases for a platform like Zapier, which has a 39-second timeout limit. So if you put it as yes, wait, and in 39 seconds the conversion is not done and the file is returned, this will stop. It will break down. So I had to put it no because we're dealing with big video files. Again, I want to future-proof this automation from any errors or issues. So for now, take my word for it and put no. And then you can give it a tag. This is not that important. And select the video codec. Again, do your own research. I've done my research and I used Claude based on some information I got from the internet, and I got to these specific kind of tweaking for this call to convert the file. Do it yourself or just copy what I've put in here. So I've chosen the X264 codec, and then for CRF I put 223 basically. Preset is medium, and then what else do we have? The fit, I put pad, and then the aspect ratio, I made sure I put the aspect ratio here, which is for shorts across all social media, 9:16. This will ensure even if for whatever reason you shoot and you make a mistake in your editing and the video is a little bit off those kind of aspect ratio, this step will clean it. So while it is converting your file, it will return it in the right aspect ratio. You can add other things like subtitles. If you want to make it even more complex, you can do the transcription first in a subtitle format and return it here to do it as part of embedded in the file. I don't need to do that. And for audio codec, I put AAC. Again, check it out for yourself. Audio bitrate is 128, and that's it. So after this is done, you can test it. And what happens is, if you selected no to wait, Once you run this, it will send that call to CloudConvert and it will send you back a job ID. Basically, this is the job that we have on our cloud servers, working on your file, and just wait and come back in a second. Okay, so we've done that. Now we go to the next step, which is I want to convert pretty much the same video, the .mov video, into an audio file, and it's the same actions, the same everything here. I go to configure the same file in the first step, so you can literally copy paste those two steps and just tweak the second one. The output format is M4A, which is again an audio format, and this is not an MP3, or again, I went to ChatGPT because I'm going to transcribe this audio file through OpenAI, and I went to their documentation and I went with M4A. So they have, I think, 2 or 3 formats they can work with when they're dealing with audio files to use Whisper model to transcribe them. And then again, the same output of the formatter to put the lowercase extension file for the file I am converting from. And then the audio codec was the same as I used for the video, which is AAC, same bitrate, 128. Oh, and I kept this to the end so I can show you. If we go back again, so this is the audio, I skimmed through it, but look here what I put for weight. I put yes, because converting something from a video file into an audio file, basically taking the audio out and generating it in a specific format, is a much faster step to be done by CloudConvert than a video. And I've tested this maybe at least 8 times so far to 10 times. It never gave an error. So I can actually use the feature of wait. So basically once this runs, it's going to wait until this step gets a return from the API call, gets that get feedback of the audio file returned into the automation, so it can be used at later steps. So here you can use wait yes, but for the video, I do not recommend that you use it. Probably in every step or every time it triggers is going to fail. So make sure for the video, keep wait no. Here you can use wait yes for the CloudConvert action. We have now on CloudConvert our video file being converted into a different format of video, which takes time. Now, I've tested this a couple of times. If you go to dashboard, by the way, you can look at the jobs that you have running. So if I test this now and I go to tasks here, I can see what is happening. So now I have no task, but I can see what's the job coming in, what's the status. So there's many ways to handle this part. For me, I made it in a very simple way. But if you were doing, for example, this through code and time to return the video conversion once it's ready is important to you, you can do, for example, a call to check the status of that task every somewhat number of seconds, let's say 5 seconds. Once the status is complete, then you pull that record and you use it. For us, this is a Zap to push videos. I just made it really simple to do so. And the way I've done it, let's go back to the automation, is I just made a delay. So here you can see a step of delay and I chose 15 minutes. I've tested it. It will nearly never take 15 minutes. For me, again, 15 minutes doesn't make a difference for my content when it goes out. So I will let it wait 15 minutes just to make sure 100% this is done and complete. And once I go to the next step, I will have no issues. So now I have my video format ready in the new format I converted to through CloudConvert. I have my audio file for the transcription. I've waited for 15 minutes. Now I have this webhook. And this is basically the part where I had to go into the CloudConvert documentation and where I explored what's the endpoint I can use on CloudConvert to send a job ID or a task and get back the output. And this is the one. Pretty easy, straightforward. You do not need to do it or do the research on your own. Just copy what I show you on the screen now. And, you know, I would think that such a step should be part of the CloudConvert actions already included in Zapier. So that's a command to CloudConvert to upgrade their application on Zapier. But when you click on it, I just created a webhook. It's a custom request. And here, when we go to configuration, you can see it's very simple and straightforward. The method is get. The URL is here. I will make sure that you have it clear on the screen. It is https://api.cloudconvert.com/v2/ jobs backslash. After that, the only thing you need to get is this dynamic input, which you take from the second or third step where you push the video to be converted to CloudConvert. It will return to you, as I mentioned before, the job ID. Just plug in the job ID here, and nothing else you need to include other than the authorization token. Now, once you push that, if the video is not ready, you're going to get an error. Again, this is why we put the 15 minutes delay or wait time. But once it's ready, once you send this call or webhook, once you trigger it, you will get back your new video file into your automation. Now, obviously, I'm hiding my token here, but the header key is authorization as usual. And after that, you have to put bearer, space, and then your key. When we go to CloudConvert, there's here the APIs. You can go to authorization and you can go to API keys. If you see it here on the left, I have one called Zapier. You can create a new key and use it. So it's a very easy process. I think you get a free credit when you create CloudConvert, so you can for free play with it and test it. There's even a sandbox, so you can test it even offline depending on your use case. For me, it doesn't matter where I test it. So let's go back to the automation. Once you have this set up and run it, what you will get back to is pretty much, as I mentioned, the new video converted file into your automation as part of this step. Okay, so let's close this. Now, once we are done with the webhook, we get back the file, but you have to be aware, the file here is not an actual file that you return into the memory of your automation. And anyways, that's too much and maybe not that reliable. So it comes back in a link. So even if you use the tool, once the conversion on CloudConvert is done, you get a link, you press it, you download the file. The same happens here. So for me, just to do this in a more robust, reliable manner, what I've done is once this is done, once I have the file URL back, I will upload it into Google Drive. And this is using a very simple file upload action of Google Drive, and it's standard in Zapier. So you go select the app, select the action, which is upload file, then your account, go to configure, and you can see here I just selected the location where I want that file to be dropped, and then the file is basically the URL. Google Drive automatically, through this action, it will download that file, place it in your Google Drive, and you will have it with you. Now, once we have that, then we can start doing the actual interesting part of this automation. But everything going forward can't happen without these preparation steps for us to have the files that we need in the format that we need them to be in. Okay, now that we are ready, we can start with the fun stuff. So the first thing I want to do is I want to transcribe my file, the audio one, into text. I want to get the text so later on I can use it to actually give AI, basically ChatGPT, some context to create different posts or details for me. And I do that through the OpenAI application on Zapier, which hosts the GPT-4, DALL-E, and Whisper. Usually the ChatGPT one will do everything else with conversations and assistants, and this one you have the DALL-E and the Whisper to use them here. So I'll click on it, and basically it's a simple action where I use the event of create transcription. It's already embedded there. It's already designed to do this action for you. So it's pretty much straightforward. You go to configuration, you simply, from the conversion step where you ran the audio conversion, you select the file results, which is again a URL, but here this step can work with URLs. And I gave it a very simple prompt that you can copy. You can make it more detailed if you want, up to you. Transcribe video attached and return the transcription with no supplementary text whatsoever. I only expect the transcript and nothing else. I do not want it to send me extra text in that file saying, here is your transcription, yada, 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 and maybe something after that. Above, you can find your transcription. These things don't matter. I don't want it to confuse later steps. So I'm just asking it for purely the transcribed audio file. And once you run this, you can test it. You will get the transcript text as an output of this step. So now we have our file or video transcribed. Now with the transcription, I can actually start generating details. Okay, so the way I've done it here is something that leverages another automation that I have. So I have a separate automation. I've created a video in the past, but it got evolved really a lot since then. If you want a new video about it, write me a comment in the comment section. But that will not stop your automation buildup. What you can do here is basically take that transcription, feed it to your ChatGPT, and ask for title, ask for a X or Twitter kind of description for the video, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, LinkedIn, whatever you want. You can have one generic description that you use across. Whatever suits you, please do it here. You have everything necessary to do the same. What I've done is I've used ChatGPT to create a title, so basically a collection of titles, one final title to be selected, and then an outline, so a summary, in other words, to the video. And those are pieces of information that I feed to my other automation, which is triggered through Airtable. So I take these fields, feed it to an Airtable, and once I update or create that record in the Airtable, this will trigger the second automation for me, which is a little bit more sophisticated. It will go online, look for titles and descriptions of YouTube videos, ranking in the domain of the topic I'm talking about. It will get that information back and again use it to create tailored descriptions for LinkedIn, Instagram, TikTok. Basically, it will just plug in all those descriptions for the platforms I'm using. And if you're interested, leave a comment in the comment section. I can do a video for you about that automation in detail and show you how it works so you can build it for yourself. But for the reason of this video, it is not necessary even to have that. You can simply replicate what I'm doing here. The difference is, rather than getting an outline and getting a title or whatever I am trying to achieve here, you can do whatever suits you. So you want a description for Twitter and the title, maybe you can use in other areas like YouTube Shorts. You can just ask the ChatGPT step to do it for you. But for the sake of showing you, so let me show you the first one, which I ask ChatGPT to give me titles based on the transcription. So I'll click on this. This is a normal conversation. I'll go to configure. So this is a very simple prompt. Analyze below transcript and return only a title reflecting the transcript. Return only title with no supplementary text or quotation marks or anything extra. So I just want a title. So I don't want those quotation marks to come into my title when I post those videos. I know it's telling most things I do are automation, but just something if you avoid will make the title look better. And you simply give it the transcript, which is the output of the transcript step we just did, and you will get something called content. So the output will be content, and probably you're going to get a summary like this, which is an SRT formatting type of transcription. So don't worry about it. You can see here in the summary, when I hover over it, how it looks. If you know how transcriptions work or a transcript file, this is how it looks. This is the timestamps and the periods or the durations and the text. So I've selected the 4.0 model and that's it. Nothing else here. And here you can test this, but once this run, you're going to get back a title. For you, that title, you can change the prompt and you can get for you, for example, an Instagram post description with hashtags and everything you are looking for. Okay, so these two other steps are the same. So you can see I'm creating an outline, I'm creating a final title, I'm creating tags. So tags I use for the YouTube Shorts and other areas. So I create only these 4 things in different conversations to have that focus and not to have issues with ChatGPT. Now, once I'm done, I have the transcript, I have the details generated for me, I have the video in the right format, and everything is ready for me to take it to the last stage of things where I start and schedule these posts on social media. Before I go to that part, this is the part of my automation. So I take all these details, I create a record in the database I have on Airtable that will trigger the second automation. Nothing for you to worry about. I have a delay in the middle to make sure that I give that automation time to run, so it will generate the details, and then here I recover the same record with all the details. But you can do it within this automation itself. And hey, if you're still here, please do not forget to subscribe to my channel and like this video, and if you're so generous, share it. It will help my little channel a lot if you do so. Okay, so now we're ready. Now we have everything we need to start pushing things to social media. Now the tool I use, and this is a paid tool, is Metricool to schedule my posts. You do not need to pay for such a tool and use it. What you can do is simply select the platform of choice, integrate it into Zapier, and publish the post. So let's say you want to go for Facebook, you can simply add a step here. This is Facebook pages. Select your Facebook page. You can select the action that you need. And here, for example, let's say create a page post or create a page video and select it. Link your account. You can see I don't have my account linked here because I don't use it. I use Metricool. And then schedule the post. I think within the action, you can select if it's a reel or a post, all these kind of details. You can do the same for TikTok, Instagram. It's all here, even LinkedIn. So you don't need to use the tool. Now, while you don't have to pay for Metricool, it does have an advantage. It's not cheap. So if you're a content creator doing this as a main thing, I would recommend going with Metricool because it can make this much easier. So you can push to multiple platforms in one action, by the way. I do it differently because I have different details. So this is why I split them down. But it has so many powerful features as a tool that it will make your life easier, especially when you automate the publication of your content. So this one is for YouTube Shorts, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. So let me show you one just for you to see what I'm doing in Metricool. Click on it. Okay, this is the app, Metricool. Schedule a post is the action, then my account. You go to configure. It's very detailed. And here you have to select which platform you want to push out to in this step. And basically it's true and false. So for example, here you can find YouTube is true, everything else is false. If I want to do it all in one action, I can simply put Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, all true, and my accounts are already integrated on the Metricool platform. If you make that membership, you can do it. It's very easy, straightforward. So I don't need to do anything in Zapier itself. And then I select the publication date. This is again a detail I'm getting from my second automation, so don't get confused by that. I get the post description here, and then I get the media. So the media is the web content link I get from my file that I uploaded to Google Drive. So if you remember, when you do the CloudConvert, you get a URL. That URL will not work here. So you upload it to Google Drive, and then regardless of using the file itself or actually using the URL here, it will work, and it will upload the content of this URL to Metricool, which will schedule all posts for you in the future. Now, this is the feature why I use Metricool, because I have a different automation, different logic of when and how to publish specific posts for my videos, and it all happens through the second automation, so I can pull it in from that here. So if that doesn't matter for you, you just want to create a video, and once you hit this automation, you want everything to be out in the same minute, which in most cases works, then you don't need all of this. Just integrate your platforms here and ask them to post or publish the content, because at this stage, regardless of what you decide to do here, you have all the details. So you do not need to pay a single dime extra on top of Zapier, obviously, to schedule your posts if you're not already using something like Metricool and you don't desire to do so. So you can do all of that here. So I've basically published all my posts one by one at this level, and once that's done, I send myself an email just to let myself know, hey, everything is out. You got the posts published, so I can go and check them out if I want. And then I create some kind of delay just in case, and after that I delete the video file. I don't want to clutter my Google Drive with lots of videos and big size videos if I keep using this for years. So I delete that file, and then I delete the Transcribe file also from Google Drive. I don't need that after this has run successfully. So that as well, text file, I can keep it. You can keep it because these files are small if you want to do something else with it later on. But at the same time, if you wish to do so, delete it. So you can delete that video file and that transcription file, and you're good. And with this, your automation is complete. Once you build it, you need to do it just once. From that moment on, any video you create, you can just throw it in a Google Drive, and everything will be across all your social media with nice and great descriptions, ready for you without doing any other effort but picking up your mobile, saying what you need to say, and pushing that video. And I know this will benefit a lot. It definitely benefited me. For me, I have a full-time job. I have no time to keep doing things in detail for each platform. So I want something that does everything for me. And this automation definitely does that. So this is it today. So I hope you've learned something new. Tell me if you build this and replicate it. I'll give you the link for the template. I will give you other details as necessary, the link for CloudConvert and so forth. Go build it, run it for yourself. Leave me a comment in the comment section of how you see it. Did you do things as an improvement that I didn't do here? And hey, don't forget to subscribe, like, and share this video. It will help my channel a lot. And with this, thank you for watching and tuning in, and goodbye.
Subscribe to Daddy's channel. Give me the mic.